Yeah, and welcome back to another episode of Dorset Catches. This time I'm bringing you to Hightown Lake, which is also on my ticket for Ringwood and District Angling Association. This is quite a popular venue. It used to be one of the waters with one of the big fish in. There isn't anymore, sadly. A lot of the fish were taken by otters a few years ago, and it did hold 40s and 50s, but there's been a 5-year stocking scheme which in total has been 125 fish put into this, with 125 carp, that is, anyway. There's been 25 carp a year for 5 years, so that's 125, including all the carp that's in there already, so it could be a bit of fun. We might see one, we might not, because it is a big lake. It's still a fairer sized water, but a lot of the fish that were stocked in there were high doubles anyway, so it'd be nice to see them grow on. And like I said, this lake in the past, when the fish were big, they were sort of producing 40s and 50s, so there's a possibility of this lake producing that later on, so fingers crossed we get to see them whilst they're still small, before everybody else rushes down here and we can't get a swim. One of my friends has been down here already. He's already in a swim, as well as my cousin, but he's only on a ticket, so as a guest ticket, which is handy as well, because this lake they allow guests as well, so it costs an extra 30 quid for 24 hours, and I think it's like 15 quid for 12, so it's not too bad. It's the same price as a normal day ticket venue, but we might struggle for bites today because it is fucking scorching hot. So here we are at the chosen swim. This is as you come in through the gate as well. There's a spod mix. When we first knock. It's my first fish. This is the first fish of the evening. Nice sized bream. Very nice. So this is a spod mix. It's got what was left over from the last session, and I've also added a big mix of boilie in there. So basically all the boilie I've had left that's been in the garage and sat there doing nothing, basically I've decided to get it all gone, get it all used up. So there's, like, I don't know, probably about 10 different flavours of boilie in amongst it all, maybe 12. So like you said, you got your nutcracker, you got your live system, your triple X, your Pacific tuna, yeah, there's just a massive mix. Your DNA bug baits in amongst it all. There's just loads in there, and obviously it's got your general particle mix that I used before, that's just left over, that I added in there with all the pellet. So like I said, it's all gooey, all gluggy. Obviously spod mix, and basically I'm fishing up tight against that island over there, as you can see. Yeah, so I'm up tight against the island fishing. Two of my rods are one of my rods is probably a rod length back. It is silted, so what I've done is I've sat it in the silt and then pulled the weight up out, and it's worked so far. I've had one bream so far. I've had another knock since, so it's pretty promising. Like I said, we're here for a social today, so on the bank. It's a beautiful place. Like I said, this is Hightown Lake. Quite a few swims, as you can see. Big open water, but there is a way, if you follow around there, it's a bit of a trek, but there is quite a lot of swims down in round the back of the island as well, that's a bit tighter as well, a bit easier to cast to. So like I said before, it is pretty hot down here. Like I said, I'm sweating, but no, it is worth it. Like I said, I just had one bream. Scanning the water, see if we can see any movements of the carp at all, or any jumping, any signs where they're to. Seen one in sort of above one of Aiden's rods, so fingers crossed he sees it. But there is a lot of bream in there. I gave a hand, thankfully. I
sort of volunteered for some bream netting before, so I've seen quite a lot of the bream that's in here. It took a lot of sweeps with the net. Unfortunately, we couldn't find them at first, and then we done a sweep in the bay of the island, and they were all logging up over there, and the shoal was huge, and they're all big fish. I don't even think there's any skimmers in amongst them. They were all fish like 5 or 6 pound and bigger. It was quite impressive, to be fair. They weren't huge, but I expect there's the odd double figure that's lurking around the back of the island, in amongst all the reed beds and stuff. Like I said, but they are in here. There's a lot of carp in here as well. We seen one in the netting, and that was a lovely scaly. Like I said, that was pushing on 30 pounds. It was in there. I know of quite a few fish that's been out that's around 30 pounds. And so I just had another knock on the alarm. And my hook baits were basically, I've got some NS1s, and they've been soaking for a while. I'll see if I can find them out for you. Oh, they might be in the box. Yeah, so that's the hook bait, as you can see. It's NS1s in NS1 glug as well, in the additive. Like I said, I brought a little pot so I could add to it again, and that stinks. That smells lovely though. It's not a horrible smell, it's a bearable smell. It's gorgeous. Like I said, on 2 of them I've tipped them with a bait out of the bait bucket, which is just a random selection. One I think's got a live system bait on it, a 15mm, and the other one's got an Odyssey Triple X. As both of them though also have that NS1, which is soaked in on top as well, and because it's been soaking for so long, there's no buoyancy neither. It is a bottom bait now, which I do like, because you see sometimes pick off the bigger carp sometimes doing that. And as well as that, obviously we got the 3rd rod on 2 NS1s. So like I said, give it a go. You've seen the bait, and they're just on simple runner rigs. I'm using a 3-ounce lead. I was on 4, but the problem is with the 4s is they're digging too much into the silt, so I've gone down to 3 so I can pick it up out of the silt, and it just lies on top. It's not digging in too much. It's like I said, that's the tactics. That's how we're approaching it. I've got to get this bait used up anyway, because you'll see in the future anyway, the way I'm heading and what I'm thinking about doing. So like I said, there's a company that supplies all the bait that I'm interested in using, and so it looks like I'm going to start using them in future for everything. And as well as that, my end tackle I'm heading towards as well, so which would be nice. You should hopefully see that in future vlogs, and we'll go from there. Like I said, it is a bit quiet, but this place is gorgeous. I said, I don't know if the fish are as dark in this gravel pit like the other pits. I said they are dark and nice oaky colours and chestnut colours in the other lakes. Obviously this summer, so they won't be as dark anyway, because the colours do stand out a lot more in the colder water in the winter. Obviously we won't see the colours quite as much be in the summer, but at the same time, even in the summer in the other lakes, the colours do still come through, because it is, I don't know, like I said, I think it's the gravel that brings the colours out on the fish. They do say it is with like perch and things, so I guess in carp is the same. So, quick morning update. Well, not a lot happened really through the night. We had a few knocks and bleeps. Hayden had another bream, but other than that it was quite quiet. I've just been rudely awoken, and well, basically the rod just rattled off. Scream and take around the island, picked the rod up,
and I could feel I hooked into it, still stripping line whilst I had it on the reel, and just out of the blue it just fucking somehow unhooked itself, which is a bit annoying. So I don't know whether it's a flaw with the rig or the hook, but this carp fishing for you, I fucking feel like shit. I think that's quite a common thing for everybody if they lose a fish. I thought I'd do a quick vlog whilst I feel like it, because you don't get that full feel for it otherwise. I said it rattled off all the way around the island, and as it went round there, probably 3 or 4 carp in other places along the island jumped. So we found them, but unfortunately, obviously, this session we will stay here for most of the day, I expect, but at the same time we're very unlikely to see another one, because the sun's going to come up and then it will be zigs, I expect. But like I said, it's a bit unfortunate. Fingers crossed it does pan out, but after that I reckon I'll be back here just to try and snag a fish, because I don't want to be beaten really. But yeah, a bit shit. I'll give you another update just before we leave, unless a load happens in the meantime. Might be lucky, might see a few more bream just to keep us going during the day, but until then. I think Mother Nature is sending her apologies with a lovely little kingfisher on the top of my spod rod. The rods have come alive with me and Aidan catching 20 to 30 bream between us. That's one of many that we're bringing in, and they're all around that size. Bream on, this has definitely brought good sport to our day. So here we are, end of the session, everything packed away. That's the last few little bits there, and wow, what a session it was. It's been a good time having a little social with my mate and my cousin. Basically we've hooked a lot of bream. Obviously I lost the carp this morning, which was a bit of a shame because that's what we come to catch, but it gives me more sort of incentive to come back and try and catch another one. Well, catch one at least, sorry. I'd say another one, but I didn't really catch it, did I? I lost it. And I said this, we're leaving this swim pretty spotless, and well, I've used most of the bait up. I still got a bit of bait to use up before I do the change, but I will be doing the change pretty soon. I might not even get to the next session using this bait I've got left. I might give it to one of the others, I'm not sure yet. Just depends how quickly I get around to having another session, I suppose. So there's a lot to happen in the future of me with Dorset catches, and as well as the terminal tackle as well. And like I said, it's been a good one. We've had like about 10 bream each today, as well as the one I had last night and whatever Aidan had before. So we've had a good bash. We know that tip of the island over there is sort of bream central, so we haven't blanked. We've had a good laugh today doing that, actually, to be honest. We ended up going for halfway through the day, changing to inline leads on the PVA bags just to see us through, to see some fish, and they did work. Like I said, we're not sure where we're heading now. We might head back to Northfield White Lake on the next session, or we might come back here. It's still up in the air, but you'll see us in the future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.